So good evening, everyone. It's great to hear about you always. It reminds you of the complete trip you have undergone. Thank you very much. Today I'm here to share my experience as a forensic scientist in the country. I've been into different designations in that field with the government for nearly 45 years, and right now with a private organization as well as the National Forensic University, Government of India. So coming to what, for the people to know what exactly the forensic, the word is a Latin word which means a deliberation in open court. In simple words, the application of the different various physical and social science to provide scientific evidence to the court of law. As every science has some principle, the basic principle of forensic science is lookout principle, which means when two objects touch each other, they leave some traces on each other. So this is the key for the criminal to be connected to the crime. He collects some traces from the crime scene and leaves some traces at the crime scene. So the basic principle works on lookout principle. In India, the burden of proof is on prosecution. And the different type of the evidences which are available is direct, indirect, circumstances, corroborative. What are the type of evidences which are present for us? It is physical, it is human, and right now with the digital thing, the virtual. So the Indian courts accept forensic experts' opinion under the Indian Evidence Act 1987, which are still modified every year, section 45. Now, forensic science is a multidisciplinary institute. It gives scientific evidences which are actually how an incident has occurred can be relieved. It directly links the crime with the criminal. It fixes up the offenses, enlightens the mode of operandi, establishes the fact of use of scientific evidence, and it cannot be denied. It is now time-related. Put together, it's an authentic tool in the hands of enforcement agency and the judicial agency. Now, earlier it was only the government forensic laboratory setup having SOP for the forensic analysis of the evidences of the crime cases. But now forensic is opening out into forensic academic for generating skilled forensic experts, educating the investigating officer, law officer, medical officer, doctors, corporate, because now crime is not only heinous and limited to certain people, it is to every person. Every common man encounters with a crime. So it is mandatory that everyone knows what this science is, which can prevent a person from encountering into a crime. You have corporate, industry, social, and so many people who requires this forensic support, and especially the masses and the organization. You must have heard in the industry there are a lot of in-house threats, but they shy out to go to the police and bear with the brunt of it. If these people come out with the forensic support, they can really save a lot on their industries. In short, preventive forensic helps all the sector of the society, common man, in averting crimes. If a person knows how a crime is occurring, naturally you can learn how to prevent it. So the whole theme is, I will today take you around a simple picture of how the forensic setup is in the country and few of the cases in which how science has been used. So in our country, we have Central Forensic Laboratories at Hyderabad, Calcutta, Chandigarh, Pune, and Bhopal. We have the CBI laboratory at Delhi. Every state has its own forensic laboratories and regional forensic laboratories. In Maharashtra, you have the head office at Mumbai, Kalina, of which I was the director for a long time. Then you have at Nagpur, Pune, Aurangabad, Nasik, Amravati, and still more come up now. Now, forensic laboratories were in a very shabby condition, I can tell you. One of the secretaries said, "ये तो पान ठेला दिखता है आपका laboratory." So I told them, unless you give us money, how are we going to go? So then onward, there was reforming the criminal justice system and meeting done by Justice Malimat. Somewhere in 2000, it started. In 2003, all directors of the forensics were called and said that this is how you all will be given. Where I fought, like many places I'm known as Jhansi Ka Rani. I fought when if you give so less for the laboratory, it is impossible for us to do the thing. I cannot tell instead of 5 ml, you take 2 ml because government is giving less money. Or I cannot tell my animal house rabbit to eat less because government is giving money. So that is how I used to fight at every stage. And we did get a very good amount under the modernization. And in all the states, most of the states, and especially in Mumbai, we have high-grade forensic laboratory of analytical and biological grade and all the best of the equipments available to handle the high-tech crimes. Now, in short, in any laboratory, we have toxicology, biology, chemistry, physics, prohibition, ballistic, as Madam said, narcoanalysis, this brain fingerprinting, polygraph, forensic, speaker identification, cyber forensic, mobile forensic lab, all these, and regional have few of them less. So today we will see case-wise how they go about and what are they looking into. I start with the 93 blast, which is my very pet thing because it was handled totally by me. It was one of the case which no one can ever forget. Then there are some other, most of the blast cases were handled by me, Telgi case, Josia Benke. So all these I will be just telling and how the scientific report stands in the court very strong with the support of the methods which we have established. Now, we forensic scientists do not stop, like do the analysis and give the report. We have to stand in front of the court, in front of the defense lawyer who will question you like you cannot even imagine. They start with, there is no university in which you did your MSc. So you have to stand very strong and in front of them, say what method you have done and why it is right. So it's a very big burden on us how to do the analysis with the trace which are enabled. We are not given samples and do analysis. We are taking a remnant from the scene crime and doing the analysis. So understand the critical situation in which as a scientist we have to work. Now this 93 blast is a thing in which within 1 hour, 12 critical structures were attacked. It was a huge one in which 257 people died and 1,400 people injured. Incidentally, that day I was in Bombay hospital because my brother was operated. So I could see the individuals coming without hands, with legs cut and whatnot. It was such a bad scene, I cannot even tell. And I reached home at 2 o'clock that day because the buses were all standstill and it was impossible to travel in that time. Okay, now you can see the scene. Some of you all must have remembered in those days how bad the situation was and the panic everyone was undergoing. And as scientists, we were put on such a burden to do this analysis. Now, these are few of the exhibits. I'm just saying most of this explosive was carried out by taking a suitcase in which 20 kg of RDX embedded with 200 cut irons are kept on the RDX, and there is a pencil timer which is a defense device which was kept. This we could come to know because we could get one unexploded device in a scooter. So you see the engines, how it is like a paper cut. So you can imagine the severity of the blast. And when such a blast happened, 200, this cut iron goes and hit like a bullet, so damaging lot of people and creating more external bullets. So normally in such cases, what do? We collect the sample from the proper place after testing for the traces, do the solvent extraction, color test, then high performance thin layer chromatography, gas mask, GCMS, LCMS, depending upon the availability and the working of the instrument. Then if any other digital devices are there, that also analysis. In forensic, what happens? You cannot just restrict to one science. All has to be applied. Whatever sample cut, accordingly we do the test. So this is the HPTLC in which we use the solvent you see on the board and then spot out the standard along with the extracted residues, and the presence are confirmed. Then it is further confirmed by HPLC. Normally explosives are done by HPLC because it works on ambient temperature and you get good results also in this. So like 2-3 techniques, when it is confirmed, then the report is given to the investigating people and who submits in the court of law. So these are this is GCMS, we do the TIC only. We sometimes create our own library so that we can have a perfect match with it. So now with all this testing, what did we give? We gave what are the high explosive we got, RDX, TNT, and hand grenade, which had TNT, NG, and NCNG. The identification of the vehicle in which the explosive were cut because of the damage we could see, and the cast iron going from inside to outside. And by doing this, we could tell the investigating people which are the vehicle in which it was kept. Finally, it was traced that it was bought by one person only, and that's how they could reach to the culprit. Then one unexploded could give completely the picture of how it was, like 20 kg RDX embedded with a cut piece and a pencil timer. A pencil timer was a device in which you have a glass tube here, a string here, and the lead aside here. When you pinch it, it erodes. It contains sulfuric acid. It erodes the string and it goes and hits the lead aside. When the detonator detonates, then the explosion occurs. Otherwise, high explosive does not, if you burn or hit, nothing happens. We could see the chemical similarity in the cast iron, similarity in the mode of operation of all the 12. So reports were given which were at par with the Interpol on the seized RDX. 20 people worked completely for 3 months without any break. And for this, now recently, one of the producers is making a biopic on my life with this 93 blast as a main theme. Means a lady who was asked why you have to join forensic, finally could do something great for the country. So this is again a crater in the Mumbai blast, twin blast. You can see the type of the crater with blackening, which very clearly indicates RDX has been used. It was near Taj and the DG office. The deaths were 44 and 50, 150 injured. So these are things which we have to work overnight and give because of the public interest and the pressure the government puts. This is again, you all must be remembering when we had blast in 7 local train first class within 11 months, and RDX and petroleum products were used along with ammonium nitrate, because in this, the police has seized some of the RDX, so they were short of it. So they were using petroleum product and ammonium nitrate to make up the damage. You can see the damages and how we have to, like, after everything is over, we have to go to the site, from that collect the appropriate sample for analysis. This is again your 2008, 2611. It was the worst which we could ever had. This is the picture of the Taj. Actually, Ratan Tata said that I'm not bothered about what damage, but I'm bothered about the human beings whom I've lost. So that is how he's a great person, everyone says. Here also, we did a extensive work, and this is another very important feature which I could tell the quote, and you must be remembering in those days there was a hue and cry. The Hemant Karkare and other officers were near this PBX box, and when they were shot, the bullet hit it. So that's why the pattern of that bullet and the test bullet did not tally. So there was a big hue and cry that he was not shot by the terrorist and someone else. Then finally, scientifically, we have to say when a bullet goes and hits and that speed, metallic base like this, the pattern, it gets damaged, and that is why the pattern was not same. So critically, not only science, logical approach and so many things have to be put together for a forensic scientist to answer and to satisfy the court and the defense people. So actually, as I said, these forensic analysis revealed the RDX, the electronic circuit revealed the data and the time of the blast. CCTV footage gave the picture of all the terrorists, and GSP link indicated the source of communication signal originated from the country across the border. Voice sample of the terrorist matched with the interrupted tapes which were there. So this is how, in the international thing, we could go such a good proof that it was beyond imagination. And we present all these papers in international conference where it is very well appreciated and also printed in international journals. So now I come to DNA. DNA is a very, very important technique for forensic, because in absence of eyewitness, DNA plays a very important role. As all of us know, everyone has a unique signature, which is known as a unique DNA profile. And Helik Advisory is the father of forensic DNA. He was in Mumbai in our laboratory and appreciated our work. So as all of you all are scientists, you know the chromosomes and DNA is present in all the nucleated, and we get the 46 chromosome from our parents, which are called as biological parents, and every DNA of ours is unique, and that is what plays a very important role. And STR, that is what is the technique we use. These are the samples normally useful for us, like blood, semen, vaginal fluid, saliva, bone, bone marrow, tissue, teeth, amniotic fluid, and head root. I will give you some of the examples now. This strand, all of you know much of it. This is how the pattern of the DNA filing is. The type of extraction we carry out now, the sample you can imagine from rape or from a murder, it's so difficult for us to do the proper extraction, purify it, quantify it. Then we have to do the PCR and then separation and sequencing. So finally, whatever report we get are good to relate rape cases, disputed paternity case, murder, identification of the remnants, mainly in disaster and all. In Delhi, when that disaster was there were 4-kilometer people claiming for the claims. So when the Central Forensic, all of us senior forensic scientists were there and said that we are going to do the DNA. So after that, hardly 10 people remained in the line. So this is the beauty of DNA in all the fields. So this is a 16 channel sequencer we have. And this is Dr. Bruce of FBI, with whom we did a project finding the DNA of the microbes of soil, and that helped a lot of number of cases could be solved. So along with the casework, we are always interested in doing some R&D which can help us to do. This is one of the case, very famous Sandhya thing, where the boy was very pensive, so the mother was not able to give the complete money to him, but he was after her, and some phone chats and all were there. Finally, he killed her and he disposed her body after a few cuts in a forest. One of the foreigner, when he was tracking, he could find the bones and all. It was sent to the laboratory. We did the DNA, and it turned out to be the biological mother of the boy. Finally, the mobile also showed where he has very categorically said, if you don't give the money, I will kill you. So such evidences are very, very perfect, which leads to total conviction. This is again a case of an Excelite in Nagpur where they left behind one of the hanky. From the sweat, we could find out the DNA and the culprit could be identified, and the court said that it is a landmark report. So that is how, while doing the scene crime, this hanky was very important. That type of eye we have to see how and what are the things we need to collect. So scene crime is the backbone of forensic laboratory, we say. This is again your Joshi Bigswell case, where that very famous case, which only solved by DNA. Definitely the girl was so depressed, he committed suicide after that. We help a lot nowadays in this wildlife also, in mainly poaching and different animal parts being sold. So database is being prepared at the National Forensic University, and we are coming up with a lot of such research work on that. You all have heard of polygraph, a lie detector. It's again, it's not directly taken as evidence, but it's a corroborative evidence. So we have cases where this has helped us to scientifically reconstruct the whole structure. It's a simple thing where your blood pressure, respiration, skin electrical conduction, these are measured. As all of us know, when we say what is the fact, nothing happens, but we say something different, there's a change in the cognitive center. That change can be captured, and that is what this computerized lie detector does. So this is a case in which a girl from Kashmir had a boyfriend at Kashmir. She came to Pune to study, and she wanted to get rid of that boy. So these two people in Pune called the ex-boyfriend and mixed arsenic in the prasad and took him to the temple and gave that. Within an hour, he started vomiting and he died. His viscera showed the presence of arsenic. But the girl herself went to the police station to say this happened to my. So the police did not get the fact very soon, and they were searching around. Then, like, who was the last with the person from that angle when they came? And then we did the lie detector, then brain mapping, and it exclusively gave her as the culprit. And finally, she confessed to everything, and then arsenic was found in her bag. So this is how, along with the science, other things have to be taken up to completely construct the thing. And this case went without any eyewitness, only on forensic report for conviction. This is another case where a teacher was very strict, and the students started saying that he's assaulting her and all. A lie detector could save the teacher from that. So in short, these type of examinations are scientific, and it does throw light in many things. There was a case where 22 people were taken for rape. So doing DNA for 22 people was impossible. We did the lie detector to do the exclusion. Last 3 were there, and their DNA matched with the vaginal swab. So this is how lie detector is playing a very important role. Right now in our Helik also, we do a lot of lie detector in industry level. I can tell you a vaccine vial where it was removed in a pharmaceutical lab, it was done. There was intellectual property theft in one of the biggest company. 100 people lie detector were done. The whole 6 people were caught. They confessed and they were thrown out. So this gives a very good technique for a small scale and a big scale and a corroborative evidence in the court of law. So this narco, brain mapping, and lie detector, all these techniques we had at London where it was taken up in a very good way. Now, document examination, as all of us know, plays important because most of the document carries high value as far as properties and will and whatnot and whatnot. So in forensic, handwriting examination, signature verification, they matter a lot. And a lot of cases in the government level, at the private levels are done normally thermogravimeter, then DSC, this differential scanning, calorimeter, video spectral. These are very, very important. I'm going to tell you a few of the very important cases. You all must have heard of Kelki case in which stamp paper were raw, like, he somehow got the right of mission and the paper, and he started printing, and there was a loss of 3,000 crores money across India. And the stamp papers, when it was sent to the laboratory, we could find out 13 features which were not matching with the real ones, and that is how all the cases were done in Mumbai laboratory, and the Supreme Court gave a really very good verdict for that from our report, and also the psychological report like narco analysis and brain mapping. There was another very big stamp of MPSC in Maharashtra where the papers were, the fake papers were inserted in place of the genuine. This also case we could do completely, the signature and the handwriting changes and all. So these type of cases with the instrument play a very good role, and we can think. So just for a simple thing, why handwriting is very important. There are about 50 features which we need to, not by just seeing we can do it. It takes a lot of efforts. It requires some myograph and other magnification, different instruments like skill level, slant, form, movement, proportion of V, heights, dot, crossing, loop, pressure. We ourselves, we do not know, but our though two signature may be different, but these won't change. That is what the technique is. So pen lift, speed, spacing. So all these lot of 50 features which are taken when we do the analysis. You can see the dispute and the admitted are normally taken. The same type of letterings are taken for comparison. So something like physical, you can say this type of comparison has to go with good instrument to check the complete loop formation, tracking, the lifting, and skill, writing scale, the slope, and everything, and the report is given. Here you see 1,000 has been made to 9,000 in checks. You can find out so many things. A zero has been inserted at the top. So we get a lot of cases from the bank for such things, and we do these things under IR where the absorption differs for the different ink, and you can get the actual overwriting and other things. Stylometry is another very important technique which we are getting now, wherein any even typed one, we can do the qualitative quantitative analysis by the statistical test like chi-square, and in very big company we could tell them how the dots, we have to really about 20 to 25 features have to be seen, and we can tell whether the author is the same or not. This is a government very important document in which the fellow who was affected spill ink so that he cannot, and you can clearly see when you see under IR, you can read it. This 80 rupees have been made to this amount in a bank check. So such type of number of cases come in handwriting and documentation. Coming to brown sugar, how different chemistry and other part is there. I would hurriedly take, I don't know whether I'll be able to cover most of the thing which I've brought. So a lot of narcotic drugs seizure as well as the user both comes to the laboratory. The similar type of testings are done. TLC, UV, HPLKC, GCMS also can be done depending upon what type. You get a very good peak for heroin, like the instruments are all latest one. And separation technique is always best because we are always getting concoction which are not a pure sample. And when it is run with the standard and the internal standard, we can quantitatively also give. This is one of the air passenger who was carrying heroin in such a capsule. One of it broke and he fainted, and it was sent to our laboratory. We could give the report within few hours, so that because international passenger cannot be stopped. So likewise, in narcotic, we have a large area which we have to cover. This is again a hit and run, like Salman Khan case also was done by me. The alcohol level was 112, but the lower court left it. But our say came up and the high court gave a punishment. So from forensic point of view, the percentage of alcohol is very important. But the proving that he was the direct driver or not is again a logical conclusion and how it can be manipulated. That is how in many cases it happens. Now, petroleum product is playing a very important role in adulteration and filtering and whatnot. So here chemistry is used in a very large, like finding out the distillation range, density, flash point, viscosity, and we can easily say, so right now we have all automation for this. So the number of cases done are more, otherwise manually it becomes very, very difficult. And we have done a lot of number of cases where adulteration, mainly what happens, this PDF kerosene, they are sold at a very low price. It has a blue color, but many people know how to remove it with the charcoal, but traces remain. So industry kerosene is very high rated, whereas PDF kerosene. So such cases also come to us. Kerosene residue I've heard of lot many dowry death and domestic where kerosene is poured and persons are burned, petrol or kerosene, the residues are found. There have been an incident in which MLA did this and there was no residue. So he said, because there is no residue, I was called in the High Court. Normally High Court doesn't take the evidences, it's Session Court where it is. So there I showed them how it has been burned so much that the gold and all has melted, which means melting of gold is about 1500 degrees. So in that, kerosene won't remain. Kerosene ranges from about 140 to 240. So I said it is impossible. So we have to give scientific such explanation to the judges to prove that it has happened, but still people how they are hiding it. Then we have chemistry applied for this, cement, collapse houses, concrete, and then alcohol percentage in beverages for the excise, adulteration of food, soft drink, toilet. It is like you can't even imagine what comes and what not comes. And lot number of chases number of the car in car theft, and many of the celebrities, they will bring new car and change the chases number so that they don't have to pay the tax and all. But we could get the erasure done and get the real number. And then footprint, tire prints, all these mainly involving physical examination and principles of physics and all are there. This I would like to discuss. You all must be knowing in mod lab of BRC, two scientists were charged to death. So actually simple central laboratory and forensic laboratory said no residue of explosive, no residue of petroleum product. But after doing a critical analysis, we could make, there was a break and make device which may give a spark, and it was full of all type of chemicals and some of them were broken. So when there is no flow of air, there is no fire, but charring is there. Charring evolves carbon monoxide. So the two boys have inhaled carbon monoxide and they couldn't shout only. The question was, when they were fire, why didn't they shout? So the very fact is, so much of soot is formed, which says that it is charring. If charring is there, carbon monoxide is there, and the people died. And when the lungs were analysis, it could be found that it was carbon monoxide full. So the central was very critical, because it being a critical structure, whether it is something accidental or it's an arson or a what type of case. So in this, I was specially asked to do the analysis and give the report. This is again a very important case, because here also I used to work with Dr. Gangadharan and Dr. Pathankar for JJ Hospital glycerin case. Very, you can imagine how restless these people are. Like, for injectable glycerin, they gave glycerin which is used for the pen, which normally contains high percentage of your diethyl, this thing, and diethylene glycol, which is very, very poisonous, and person died by kidney failure. About 14 people, including children, were died. There was a committee set up for this. And the whole case was like, Dr. Pathankar asked me to publish a paper. We did a very elaborate way work in LC with IR detector, completely quantifying the glycerin, diethylene glycol, water, and everything. And it was very scientifically done and reported to the committee. And finally, they found many of the government staff were guilty, and who passed this. Now, this is again a Joshi Abhiyankar unique cases where there is no eyewitness, only the forensic people could get completely the clues, and the totally death sentence were 4 young boys read some novel, and they thought, why not implement it. Like, they used to go into any house with some gagging material, a perfume, and a string, plastic string. They would first gag them, strangulate them, and then put the perfume so that no dogs or any trace, and they only go and inform the police that we heard some scream from this house. So likewise, they killed some 3 people and 4 people in Abhiyankar house and in Joshi's place, like that. Finally, one of the person of that only got very scared and they refused. Then they killed him only when they got caught. So in this, the whole gagging material over about 1.5 years or 2 hours turned out to be a kurta which matched the person. Then the plastic rope was same everywhere. And another very unique thing is, you have plastic ropes which are tied up like that, plies. So all of this contained 16, but one contained 15. So this dissimilarity was very unique to connect it from the place they bought, that, and all the strangulation ropes. So all such type, it was very well appreciated at international conference, and only forensic report was taken up in this case. So this also appears now. I'll come to toxicology. You know, when unnatural death happens, the viscera or the vomit, blood, whatever it is sent to the toxicology. It totally uses all the chemical methods for the analysis, extraction, and then do the analysis. One of this, we remember a Negro lying in Mint Road. He was dead. His viscera and the blood sample was found, and it showed morphine along with the alcohol. A very high level of heroin was there, and the metabolites also. So this type of toxicological analysis is also very difficult, because from the viscera you have to extract and do this. Then one of the boy, he did not get a job, so he took the insecticide, methyl parathion, and he swooned there. So we were informed. We gave the report within 1 hour, and the antidote and atropine could be given and saved his life. So this type of clinical toxicology is also very important, because if we give the antidote, you can save a life. Now coming to cyber forensic, as you know, that is what is rocking right now everywhere. You know, it can be like, hacking, it can be threatening mail, stealing or deleting important data, and so many other things. Now in this, a computer itself can commit crime like child pornography, threatening, email identity theft, sexual assault, defamation, and so many things. Or the computer becomes a target for the crime like virus and other things. So hurriedly we'll see how we go. We go identify what it is, seize it, authentify it like with the hash number, acquire it, do the analysis depending upon the nature of the analysis required, present it, and then preserve it. So normally in this terrorist activity, financial crime, sale of illegal article, intellectual property, forgery, all these involves all digital forensic analysis. Now in this, our terrorist thing, before the blast, we got the emails and the CD also, the ATS sent to us, and we could retrieve completely the emails that was created before the blast, and also the hard disk and the mobile phone could link the criminals with the voice as well as the complete content in which they had planned out how they are going to. So we normally use Encache and FTK for these things in our analysis. This is again a email authentication of two companies. They had entered into a contract, and a Japanese company, after some time, they withdraw and they stopped completely talking after the complete money was transferred to them. So the hard disk was brought to us. We could retrieve all the old 70 emails in which all the contracts were that completely when the project happens, what would be the shares and other things. Because of this, it could stand in the court and the company could get its share. So now mobile forensic is playing a very important, I just cannot tell you the number of mobile cases we are getting. It is threatening, it can be like giving extortion call or terrorist, etc. So many means from all angle. Mobile forensic is having a lot, like this is 500 crores financial fraud investment by the EOW, which was done by us. And here we exposed completely the investor list. They had completely had a fake investor list, agent list, investment list, and completely all the investors were kept in dark, and the company after some time wound up and gone. So the complete things were presented, and they could trace the actual company and get back those crores of, it was some 500 crores thing. This is again an insurance company where these fraud agents, they resell the policy to multiply customers by retrieving our private emails, accounts, and other things. Mainly senior citizens become victim to this, and for the commission they get, they perform such new sales again and again. Now, voice analysis plays a very important role, mainly in political attack, blackmail, dispute, fraud, insurance, and other things. As all of us know, like DNA, your voice is also very unique because it passes through so many organs, and everyone, if you do the analysis, the voice is very different. And mainly the bribery case and all, we get a lot, all that, so many things. In Malegaon blast, we could do the voice analysis, gangster cases, cricket matching, many cases come to us for that. This is again a case of CCTV footage. Take a photo in the dark, you can say frame by frame work, how the number could be identified and given to them. This is again a lorry carrying a huge amount of golden idols which were still stolen, and finally we could identify where it was and trace the number and give them. So this is the mobile forensic van which we prepare, because the proper sampling is very, very important. And all the facilities and the kits are there to see that you collect a proper sample from the scene crime. Otherwise, like Arushi case, you lost everything. So no case can be done out of it. It is gone case. So one should not happen. So Ministry of Home Affairs has come up with, and they give money to all the state government free of cost to buy such mobile forensic van. We regularly, as we have to upgrade ourselves, we have seminars, conferences, and all the area. As you know, I'm an analytical chemist, but I cannot say I do not know this or that. Forensic means you have to have at least the basic knowledge of all if you are heading a particular thing. So we interact with BRC a lot, also neutron activation workshops and all I used to come. And this, again, so many things. We interact with the judges also, because unless they know what the forensic report looks like and why it is important, it is difficult. So we regularly have workshops for all the judges. So this is again the judges of highest Supreme Court, High Court, then your family court. Family court cases are nowadays very, very modern. The husband wife, they fight digitally and the evidence is manipulated and whatnot. If you listen to the cases, you'll be really very shocked the type of cases we receive. And we normally interact with the common people also, okay, how you can safeguard yourself. This is in the Maharashtra Police Academy, where we have created a forensic awareness center so that the police are well trained in the forensic methodology, so that they modernize the investigation. Regular police trainings are given, and then we like to take forensic to common people wherever university or common platform. We normally go and give lectures like Rotary Club. So this is during the RR Patil, the last meeting which I had with him, when he had invited me to give a lecture on crime against women at Sangli. So for all my good work, I did receive a lot of awards, and I thank God and all the well-wishers for that. So this is our National Forensic University, where I'm an academic council member. And very soon we are coming up in Mumbai with the National Forensic University Corporate Forensic Training Center, where we have entered into it, and I'll be heading it, where we want to give forensic backup for all corporate industry, film industry, and all common people also, so that they get, instead now, you know, there are some forensic scientists in the market who are BCom and BA, and they call themselves, I don't even know whether they have ever seen a lab. So Amit Shah is very much after that corporate forensic center should be there. So in Mumbai, we are starting that. It has been inaugurated, and very soon we'll be coming up with it in a very big way. And there are some forensic private laboratories, out of which Helik is one of it. So this is my Helik laboratory, where we do a lot of scene crime and do a lot of work. The cases here, if I start telling, it will take another 1 year. This is like, you know, in one of the industry, there were spilling, this was an industry where 162 employees were there, 4 of them retired, but still the people were giving the fingerprint and the signature and drawing their pay also. So we could do the fingerprint and the writing and compare and tell that who were the people who were doing that. This is another industry. There was spill of lot of lube oil and friction of the machine. There was spark. Whole thing caught fire and so much of loss. So in the industry, we are taking up that how we can teach them how only accidents happens because of the ignorance. So we are going to give forensic support to them, how they should maintain themselves so that such accidents don't happen